The race to fill California's 32nd Assembly District has a new frontrunner.
Stan Ellis, a local businessman, has the endorsements of Kern County Congressmen Fong and David Valadao. Eyewitness News reporter Will Silverstein tells us how these endorsements help shape the race. Will.
Well, Michael Rochelle, it's not just those big names in D.C., but lots of local endorsements too, including Kern County Sheriff Donnie Youngblood and 3 of the current county supervisors. The businessman has some local oil industry support as well.
And then you have Stan coming into this. Now, Stan is probably one of the smartest guys I've ever met in this industry.
Local oil man Chad Hathaway is sold on Stan Ellis as the 32nd Assembly District's next assemblyman, pointing to Ellis's cunning knowledge and expertise and, yes, wealth.
The guy is, not only is he a brilliant engineer, but he's also an inventor. He knows across the spectrum of different, I owned a minor league baseball team for a while. He owned a minor league basketball team here in town.
We don't get involved in his picks. He's the coach. That's his part of the business.
There is Ellis during his days as owner of the now defunct Bakersfield Jam. The Republican candidate has wrapped up endorsements from across the GOP spectrum. Several of those endorsements all coming out in one day makes Professor Nathan Monroe believe a concentrated endorsement from GOP bigwigs was in the works for some time.
I think one of the things that people fail to appreciate about endorsements is what it says about what's going on behind the scenes.
Despite Ellis' popularity among local party elites, Monroe would not be surprised to see a challenger running to the right of Ellis.
It tends to be an intra-party competition for these seats, meaning we're seeing Republicans against Republicans.
Moreover, Monroe believes Ellis as a replacement for failed candidate Ken Weir, who lost in November, shows the party is moving on from its current party boss and Ward 3 city councilman.
They're trying to find places to shuffle these candidates and bring them up through the ranks for those that are the most talented.
As for Hathaway, throw Ellis into that most talented category.
I don't know how you say it, Epic Bakersfield. He is like the guy.
All right, and Will, now obviously, I mean, things are still very early on in this race here, but you can't ignore Ken Weir running for that race earlier this year in November. Have you heard any indication of whether or not he intends to run in this race?
We hadn't yet. We had reached out in November to Ken Weir, who's the Ward 3 city councilman for Bakersfield. We hadn't heard anything back from him. We had even reached out to the Kern County Republican Party as well at the time. Didn't hear a response there either. And then Kern County Young Republicans did tell us that they were considering more options, and perhaps this Stan Ellis was that other option when you look at how many different people have jumped out to support him in this race.
All right, very good. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And stay tuned in our